Howdy guys, this is HankAmericanEngine and welcome to my TOMY Plarail review of the Gator and Marion 3-piece train set. This is the first ever release of Gator within the TOMY Plarail range, and I couldn't be any more excited than what I am already. Gator is just festooned and overwhelmed with detail for his Plarail debut. As my good friend Henry NWR3 said in his TrackMaster Revolution Gator review, Gator has detail for days. With this Plarail release of Gator, I think Henry NWR3's statement holds truth here. Gator has detail for days. Aside from just being motorized, Gator has lots of detail with the gold and red lining, almost as if he just steamed to the blue plastic track straight from the television screen. Included with that detailing of his boiler, there's a definitive difference between the two shades of green that he's painted with. And even the little deflectors atop his boiler near his funnel have that dark green color that they have in the show. Even that little green tidbit atop the roof of his cab has the light green color to it. One of the greatest things about Gator is that his nameplate is much more visible on his larger bunker, which also has the appropriate lining in two-tone shades of green. Another great thing that the TOMY Corporation did is that they molded the black plastic for the Coco wheel arrangement that Gator owns, giving him even more detail than what he has already. There's so much good about Gator, but there are a few things that just stuck out to me that the Plarail company might have forgotten to detail. First, his cab windows aren't visible anywhere. On the note of his cab, it actually looks a little smaller than the Fisher-Pri's TrackMaster Revolution release, but I think it's made up from the sheer amount of detail that this model has. In addition to the lack of cab windows, Gator doesn't have his gold piping painted in, the dark green steps painted on his running board, and his rear lantern isn't painted. Looking at his rear buffer beam, this is the first Plarail release that I've ever found that suffers bufferitis. Any great TOMY or Plarail collector can easily fix these little details, but I hope the TOMY Corporation rectifies this tiny lack of detail in the future releases of Gator. But I think Gator looks amazing, don't you? For the very first time in the TOMY TrackMaster range, Marion, the self-propelled steam shovel, has finally been able to tread blue, brown, and dark gray rails. This is the first ever release of Marion in the TOMY TrackMaster range following her unexpected and unexplained cancellation from production by Fisher-Pri and Mattel. The TOMY Corporation has answered the fans' outcry for Marion, and they have done a stupendous job with her model. Marion has lots of detail, easily seen with the molded plastic that indicates her two outrigger legs, Bobo bogies, and cab steps on her chassis. She looks amazing and ready to get digging to load up cars at the China clay pits, or to just help do any kind of digging work around the island of Sodor.
Dig up, I like to dig down, I like to dig up treasure that's never been found. Do you dig digging like I dig?
Speaking of digging, thank you for bringing up another fantastic point about your Plarail model, Marion. Her boom arm has lots of great motion and can rotate in a full 360 degrees. Her secondary boom arm with her bucket also has an up and down motion that her main boom arm also possesses. Even though Marion has so much detail, there are a few nitpick things I've got a problem with. Firstly, she's a bit more squashed and wide instead of rectangular and narrow, but I think a few customizations here and there should fix that. Secondly, her side cab windows aren't painted black, but nothing a steady hand in black paint can't fix. Third, her gold whistle isn't painted, but being present atop the roof of her textured cab roof is just fantastic. Again, nothing a steady hand in gold paint can't fix. Lastly, Marion is missing her sole lantern on her front, but a small customization shouldn't be a problem. Aside from these minor nitpicks, Marion has so much detail that I'm flabbergasted enough to say that this lone TOMY Plarail release has so much detail that makes this product of Marion the best out of any non-motorized Thomas & Friends character ever made by the TOMY Plarail company. This little blue cargo car is probably one of the most unique cars I've ever seen come from the TOMY Corporation, especially as the clay cargo has the coolest imprint ever. It's the Tyrannosaurus Rex footprint Thomas saw in the beginning of Tale of the Brave. That is one of the greatest homages, directly to a Thomas and Friends special I might add, that I have ever seen. So, despite the fact there's this super cool cargo within this clay car, there are two very big cons to just the car itself. First, courtesy of YouTube user TrackMaster Toy Train Village, the cargo isn't removable and is permanently stationary within that car. I understand it's allowed so that any engine can pull Marion about the track with her arm lowered to avoid any accidents that could happen, but it would have been really cool to have the clay cargo actually removable to enhance playability. Second, I'm not too fond of the baby blue color, but a steady hand and some paint can fix that. Overall, it's a really cool little car to have with the China clay cars you might already have in your collection, especially since there's a unique fossil sitting on top of it. The Plarail Gator and Marion 3-piece train set from the TOMY Corporation answered one very big outcry of merchandise for TOMY or Fisher-Pri's TrackMaster Marion, and it also gave the consumer, collector, and fan a handsomely detailed Gator, which easily supersedes the TrackMaster Revolution Gator overall in appearance, detail, accuracy, and performance. Gator himself makes the set very much worthwhile, and Marion only adds to the justification of purchasing this 3-piece set wherever you can find it for a decent price. Out of 5 stars, the TOMY Plarail Gator and Marion 3-piece train set from the TOMY Corporation receives a grand total of 4.5 out of 5 stars. Congratulations, TOMY, and thank you all for watching. See you again in the next video from HankAmericanEngine.